Part 3. The Watchers. The whisper sliced through the darkness, leaving a chill that clung to our skin like frost. I turned to look at my friends, and in their eyes I saw my own horror reflected back. The voice had sounded close too close, as if it were right there, crouched in the shadows just beyond our flashlight's reach. "Run," Hannah whispered, her voice barely audible, eyes wide and pleading. But just as she said it, something strange happened. The tunnel changed. The passage we had come through a straight path out. I was sure of it now, seemed twisted, the exit hidden in some unseen fold of shadow. Where smooth stone had been moments before, jagged walls jutted out like bone, their harsh angles casting crooked, unnatural shadows. This isn't the way we came," I stammered, heart pounding as we tried to make sense of the shifting walls around us. Max, for once speechless, raised his flashlight and swept it over the walls, revealing the symbols again. Only now they pulsed with a faint, reddish glow. Each time the light hit a symbol, the air around it grew colder, the glow fading, only to reappear the moment we turned away. It was as if the tunnel itself was alive, reacting to our every movement, every breath. "We didn't come this far in, did we?" Hannah whispered, her voice cracking with fear. Her hand was pressed over her mouth, as if stifling a scream that threatened to escape. The laughter grew louder, accompanied by a steady, rhythmic scraping. Footsteps? Or something far worse? The sound was faint but unrelenting, a relentless march echoing through the tunnel. Max, defying every ounce of his fear, took a step forward, shouting into the darkness. "Who's there? Show yourself." In response, the laughter stopped. Silence reigned for an agonizing moment, filling our ears, thick and choking, before the footsteps began again, louder, faster, closing the distance between us and whatever it was out there. "Keep moving," I hissed, grabbing Hannah's hand and pulling her down a side corridor I hadn't even noticed before. Max stumbled after us, flashlight beam jittering as he scrambled forward. Our footsteps echoed down the narrow passage, the walls closing in tighter, forcing us to hunch as we moved. The air grew colder still, biting through our jackets, and the smell, a mixture of damp earth and something else, something rotten, filled our nostrils. We pushed forward, deeper and deeper into the tunnel's embrace, until we stumbled into another chamber. This one was larger, its walls covered in scrawls and markings that hadn't been there before. Symbols that writhed as though alive, almost breathing. And in the center of the chamber lay a relic of the tunnel's dark history, the remnants of the lost expedition. A cluster of old, tattered backpacks, their contents spilled out onto the floor-aged photographs, journals, personal belongings, each a haunting reminder of lives lost within these walls. Max knelt down, picking up a photograph. His hand shook as he held it out to us. It was an old, faded image of a group of young people, all smiling, their faces caught in a moment of blissful ignorance. But one thing stood out, chilling us to the core. The backdrop of the photo was the same chamber we now stood in. "They were here," Max whispered, his voice barely a breath. "They made it this far?" Hannah's fingers traced over the old notebooks scattered around, flipping through brittle pages filled with frantic, looping handwriting. One entry in particular caught her eye, the ink smudged and hurried. It follows. We can't lose it. It's watching us, its eyes everywhere. Do not look. Do not listen to the whispers. It lies. Another entry, dated 2 days later, read simply, "Only the darkness will save us now." The hair on the back of my neck prickled as I took in the words. The tunnel wasn't just cursed. It was alive, aware, and it had taken the lost expedition, consumed them as it would consume us if we stayed any longer. Suddenly, Hannah's flashlight flickered, the beam struggling against the oppressive dark. She shook it, frustration mixing with terror, as the light sputtered, illuminating the chamber in erratic flashes. Each pulse of light revealed the walls, shifting subtly, as if they were inching closer, watching us. Then we saw it. In the corner, just out of the flashlight's range, a figure lurked, its face obscured in shadow. Its form was indistinct, shrouded in darkness, but its eyes, those eyes glowed, pinpricks of crimson light cutting through the dark, fixed on us with an intensity that seared itself into my mind. Hannah's flashlight went out completely, plunging us into utter darkness.